Hello, church. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well today. Listen, I wanted to take just a quick minute or two to talk to you about something that came up for me this morning during my daily Bible reading time. You know, as a church, we've been reading through the Bible. I know we talk about that every week. And today we began the book of Nehemiah. And in Nehemiah chapter 1, we learned that this guy named Nehemiah, who was a Hebrew, he was in Babylon living in exile. He was a cupbearer to the king. Nehemiah learns from a brother that back in his homeland, a place that he was unfamiliar with, the people there, the people who had escaped exile were living in shame. They were living with pain. They were being continually assaulted by surrounding peoples because the walls were destroyed. They were left in ruin. And when Nehemiah hears this, he's broken. He weeps over this news, and then he does something rather remarkable. He doesn't just stay remorseful. He doesn't just settle for being sad, but he then, in his brokenness, he is filled with compassion, a compassion that moves, like a compassion that acts. And Nehemiah does this audacious thing. He goes before the king, the emperor, and he asks for permission and blessing to return to his homeland, to rebuild the walls so that the people there can have peace and so that they can do the things that they should be doing as God's people. The Lord has put this mission upon Nehemiah's heart. So that's what enables him to go before the king with great courage. If you've been reading along or if you're familiar with the story, you know that the king honors this request and he sends Nehemiah away with not only his blessing, but with his endorsement and with provisions and resources to rebuild the walls and the gates. Nehemiah did all of that because he had compassion for God's people, compassion for his fellow man. It wasn't, yes, Nehemiah was a great administrator, a great builder, a statistician. He was strategic. He had all those things working for him. But the thing that is most important, or that was most important for Nehemiah, was this idea of compassion. So I connect that thought to something that we're going to begin talking about this coming Sunday. We're going to begin a new series of messages over the Old Testament book of Jonah. And Jonah is all about compassion. Sadly, it's not about Jonah's compassion. Jonah was a hard man. A man that was filled with hatred toward a specific group of people. But the book is about God's compassion. And God wins. God changes hearts. And so we need, as Christian people, we need to have the heart of God. We need to have compassionate hearts. When I think about the thing that I need to grow in the most as a person, as a man, it's in the area of compassion. And you might arrive at the same conclusion. We're always thinking about, what our goals should be, where we should be growing, how we should be taking steps forward in our Christian maturation process. What's the next step in our journey? And we don't think about things like compassion very, very, very regularly, but I know that this is what the Lord wants to see in us. When Jesus was walking the earth, we have all of these examples in the Gospels of Jesus being moved by compassion to act or to speak or to do something. He saw the crowds, he saw that they were harassed and helpless, and he was moved with compassion for them. Jesus goes to the cross, certainly to glorify his Father, to obey his Father, but his death was also done in compassion for us, out of compassion for us. So I pray that you'll take this to heart, that maybe you will consider where you're at in the realm of compassion. Are you a compassionate person? When you see people, are you moved by compassion, or do you just get angry? Do you just get easily frustrated? Do you quickly write people off? How do you see your fellow man? How do you view your neighbors, whether they're close in proximity or far away? How are you doing with Christian compassion? I think the church as a whole could stand to do a better job in this regard. So let's pray together. I hope to see you this coming Sunday. I can't wait to share more with you from Jonah chapter 1. I believe that God has great things in store for us. So until then, God bless you. Take care. Bye.